Dear viewers, immigration rules are frequently changing, which is very important for migrant community and all of us. Why won't the world tackle the refugee crisis? Are the High Court judges under pressure by government policy? How deporting people silently? Why immigration detention center misbehaves with detainees? Is the immigration enforcement used by government lawfully? How immigrants are victim of domestic violence? What will be the UK relationship with the European Union after Brexit? Fear spreads. Protests across the world. We should know the reality. I try to collect all the latest immigration news regularly. If you like this video, please stay with us to follow my Facebook page and YouTube channel, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share with your friends. Let's go to the news. Amber Rudd, 1 in 5 NHS England trusts hit by cyber attack. Patient data does not appear to have been accessed and leaked online during a major cyber attack on the NHS, according to Home Secretary Amber Rudd. Some 48 of 248 NHS England trusts have been affected by the attack, which has delayed and forced the cancellation of health service works. All but 5 NHS England trusts which were affected by the cyber attack are back to normal. Nissan has also announced that its UK plant in Sunderland was affected. It is thought that around 100 countries were targeted in the cyber assault. UK, 2-year visa for young Europeans. The government is currently considering a 2-year fixed visa for young Europeans who want to work in the UK in certain low-skilled sectors. Greens vow to end immigration detention and decriminalise prostitution. Pledges come as party's manifesto for women launched outside Yarls. UK migration target remains. Will overseas student numbers be cut? Cap on student visas and more pressure on universities to ensure recruits are genuine seen as potential measures. Amber Rudd exclusively confirms Tories will pledge to drastically cut immigration. The Home Secretary exclusively confirmed to Ian Dale that the Conservatives will commit to reducing immigration to the tens of thousands. Staley might be right. UK immigration policy could be key to cities' future. The ability to hire skilled staff from abroad must be protected, Barclays boss suggests, and the next government should take note. Why though? My thoughts on retaining the net migration target. The third general election in a row, the Conservatives have decided to retain the target of reducing net migration to the tens of thousands in their manifesto. Brexit ministers misled us over immigration, say furious curry house bosses. 2 cabinet ministers were today under fire over the Leave pledge to allow more chefs and waiters into Britain if the country backed Brexit. Curry house bosses told how they felt used, let down and may have been given false help by politicians that quitting the EU would allow more workers in from South Asia to address staff shortages. Labour's 2017 election manifesto amended to include tougher line on immigration and Brexit. Changes agreed after warnings core voters could be turned off. Jeremy Corbyn has agreed to toughen up Labour's general election message on immigration and Brexit after concerns the party's manifesto could turn off its working class vote. Britain need not slam its doors to limit migration. May's resolve to slash numbers poses risks to the country's economy. The lady's not for turning. Theresa May, unbowed by 7 years of her party failing to meet its promises on immigration. Drop the Tories' migration target, Theresa May. It's unrealistic and ineffective. The number of immigrants entering the UK does need to be controlled, but not in this arbitrary and indiscriminate way. The government's net migration target of below 100,000 a year has consistently been missed, almost always by a massive amount, since its introduction in 2010. Brexit latest, slowing immigration from the European Union already hurting labour market, say recruiters. The market rec survey fits with other data suggesting a peak in EU migration levels to the UK since last June's Brexit vote. Tory immigration pledge will hurt UK tech in face of Macron's grand marker. The Conservatives' commitment to an immigration target of below 100,000 is a huge and damaging blow to our entrepreneurial, outward-facing country. Why May is keeping immigration target. Privately, lots of Tories have said for years, 6 years in fact, that the chances of getting immigration down to under 100,000 were small. Election 2017, Labour to scrap minimum income rule for foreign spouses. The party's leaked draft manifesto pledges to scrap the controversial threshold. Immigration rules currently require British citizens to earn more than £18,600 before their foreign partner can join them on a spouse visa. Critics say the policy discriminates against working-class people on lower incomes. General Election Series, what the Conservative Manifesto should pledge on immigration. As we count down to the publication of the Conservative Party's 2017 General Election Manifesto, The Telegraph has asked a cross-section of industry and policy experts to put forward their manifesto wish lists. Today Phoebe Griffith, Associate Director for Migration at IPPR, outlines what she would like to see promised on immigration. Lagan's Zulsdorf family are back in Canada. A family that had set up a home in Scotland is back in Canada after facing deportation from the UK. Jason and Christy Zulsdorf, who have 5 children, moved to Scotland in 2008 and invested in and ran a shop in Lagan, in the Highlands. The Home Office said they had to return to Canada because they had not fully complied with visa rules. In an email to BBC Scotland, Mr. Zulsdorf said they were now in Canada after going there voluntarily. The family had hoped to have been able to continue living in Scotland. Theresa May's immigration duplicity exposed. The Prime Minister knows the British economy needs migrants. And yet she still peddles her inflammatory anti-immigrant rhetoric. Theresa May is fond of making promises she knows she won't keep. She promised there would be no early election and now we're in the midst of one. She says a large majority in Parliament will increase her Brexit negotiating power, a nonsensical claim that has no grounding in reality. And on Monday she again pledged to cut net migration to below 100,000. A pledge she's failed to live up to for 7 years now. Labour's draft manifesto, key policies analysed. Polls suggest voters want Royal Mail and railways back in state hands, while tuition fees pledge may appeal to young people. Immigration. What the manifesto says, no false promises on immigration numbers as the economy needs migrant workers to keep going. A desire to see fair and managed migration. That means scrapping £18,600 income threshold for UK citizens to bring non-European spouses to Britain that has led to separation of thousands of families. A migrant impact fund will be established to finance public services under additional pressure financed by existing visa levy. Analysis. The manifesto implies Labour would scrap the Tories' net migration target without giving any hint of its future approach to European migration post-Brexit, especially whether EU citizens will face a similar skills-based visa system that exists for non-EU citizens. The promise of a migrant impact fund is a long-standing Labour promise which has been matched by the Conservatives. Drop the target. Business leaders warn Theresa May migration cap will damage economy. Experts say target is arbitrary figure and does not reflect recruitment needs. Business leaders have warned Theresa May she will damage the economy by renewing the government's commitment to reduce net migration to under 100,000 a year. 9 arrests by immigration officers in Brighton. 9 people have been arrested by Home Office officials in Brighton's 3 Romanian males, 1 Italian male and 5 Romanian females are now being questioned on suspicion of street begging and causing antisocial behavior. They were all detained on North Street and on Madeira Drive as part of an operation at 4 a.m. on Thursday. Theresa May might have wrongly deported hundreds of gay asylum seekers as Home Secretary. Hundreds of lesbian and gay asylum seekers, victims of trafficking and survivors of domestic violence may have been wrongly deported by the UK Home Office. A ruling by the Court of Appeal has found the Home Office, run by Theresa May during the period, was using out-of-date advice on Albania for as long as 5 years. Sadiq Khan says don't blame immigration for strained services. The Mayor of London said infrastructure problems are down to underinvestment and that London wants and needs immigration. Immigration, the Manifesto Challenge. 10 steps to restore public trust on immigration and integration. 1. Invest properly in an immigration system that is effective, fair and humane. 2. Propose a new UK migration deal with the EU to replace free movement. 3. Hold Britain's first ever comprehensive immigration review, and set sensible limits for immigration controls, making promises that governments are in a position to meet. 4. Non-EU immigration, review the rules on family migration. 5. Use money generated by the immigration skills charge on training for UK workers, and consider measures to reduce dependence on migrant workers. 6. Uphold refugee protection, improve the system and extend community sponsorship. 7. Set a target for increased student migration, so that global Britain competes to top the global league in attracting international students. 8. Implement local impacts funding, to ensure net gains from migration reach the places of most change. 9. Increase political accountability on immigration through a Migration Day report to Parliament and the public. 10. Commit to introducing a national integration strategy. Thank you for staying with me. See you in the next video.